My viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. We have, of course, some college football news and updates. Of course, we're seeing some big time games going. We just seen a big time game end with Ole Miss versus Georgia, and Georgia got the victory in this matchup. The matchup right here was a very interesting matchup. You see how ties can change, of course. Momentum can shift, of course. We see how Ole Miss was kind of ahead at a good point in time, but then you look at the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, Georgia scored 17 points. Ole Miss did not score in the fourth quarter at all, like that. And then you look at the end of the game, of course, as well. You see how Georgia D-line was able to get pressure on that last little drive that Ole Miss had. Get pressure there, back the ball down the end on the fourth down, and seal the game away, of course, as well. So yeah, it was pretty cool game, like of course, as well. You see, Trinidad Chambliss had 263 passing yards, a touchdown pass. He had 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Gunnar Stockton on Georgia had 4 touchdowns as well. And both teams offensively were just going back and forth like that. I thought it would be more of a defensive battle at first, like that, but then things start kicking up. We seen the big touchdown. Was it 62-yard touchdown? I think he had. I think so. Like a 62-yard touchdown, if I'm mistaken. We seen some crazy stuff happen. Yeah, there was dribbling. Yeah, he had the big touchdown he had, of course, and things just start going back and forth like that. We seen on one play the little flea flicker and stuff as well. So things was back and forth, went back and forth, and then you see, of course, Georgia coming out on top. Right now, Ole Miss is ranked 5th right now, so they dropped to 6-1. It's their first loss of the season, and Georgia is the 9th ranked team. So we'll see them probably move up a little bit. We also seen, of course, something else happen, of course, in another game for a top 10 team, LSU. They lost 2 as well to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt been finding a way to win a lot of big time games, of course, this season. Nismeyer, he had, of course, 225 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a quarterback whose name is circulating around. Him, Drew Aller, Lenore Sellers, those guys are probably circulating around. Of course, they entered in the draft probably this season, like that. But he played pretty solidly, of course, but, just was not enough. Diego played very good. Was able to use his legs, 86 rushing yards on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, and also, as you see, 160 yards passing in the air. And they just find a way to just run the ball very well like that, very effectively. And Vanderbilt stayed in it, and in the end, they never gave him the ball back like that. They kept playing good. They had a chance, though. LSU had a chance, of course, before, but didn't get opportunity to score. And then Vanderbilt just kept running the ball, getting first after first down, and get the ball back. And that last run he had, of course, at the end of the game was enough to get on the first down, and then enough to milk the game away in video formation. So yeah, that right there was a big time win for Vanderbilt. We also seen, of course, yesterday Louisville go out there and beat Miami, getting 4 interceptions on Carson Beck. That's his career high as well. And Carson Beck, of course, we know he has potential and he's all right and stuff, but it's a reason that he kind of got. He left Georgia, but Georgia was kind of like, yeah. He's cool and all, but he's not really, he has moments where he's a little shaky in times when you have to make him go out there and win the game for you at times. And, yesterday they took away Miami's rushing ability. That's one thing Miami have done throughout the season, run the ball very well. It was 6-0 until that point, running the ball very well, getting those big rushing yards and stuff. But this time they took that away from them. They said, okay, we're going to take the running ability away, hold you only to 63 rushing yards, and Carson Beck going to have to drop back and deliver, and he did not deliver. He had a lot of mistakes, and the pressure got to him as well. He turned the ball over a lot, and he lost 24-21 to Louisville. Louisville kind of showed a little bit of formula like that, how to get Miami. And some teams with some top tier defensive linemen up front like that as well, like that too. So, and most likely Miami gonna make the college football playoffs, of course, as well. They was number 2 right now, but they might drop a little bit. But they make the college football playoffs, of course. But when you step in those playoffs, you gotta play some of those teams with those big time fronts, and then take your running ability away, and you gotta go out there and make a play with your arm. We're gonna see if Carson Beck can go out there and do that. We also seen, of course, Ohio State. Of course, Julian saying he had 4 touchdowns today against Wisconsin. They shut them out. They won 34-0. They're 7-0 now. But yeah, it's some crazy things that happened, of course, so far, like in the college football playoffs, like season and stuff as well. Let me pull up some other games as well that was going on. I know SMU was playing Clemson right now. They won the game. They was winning the game. Right now you have, of course, and pull all the stats up and stuff. Right now you have today, I already mentioned Louisville, then Nebraska too. That was the one from yesterday as well. Minnesota beating Nebraska. Nebraska was ranked 25th. Minnesota beat them 24-6, held them to 213 total yards, and also 186 rushing yards on the ground. Like that, you watch that game, they was able to just run the ball when they want to. And you can run the ball when you want to, control the pace of the game, you can keep it condensed, and their defense got after them as well early, so they made it very easy to win that game right there. So Minnesota got that victory yesterday too as well. That was another nice win too. Georgia Tech, they defeated Duke. They able to move up as well. They won 27-18 in that game. At halftime, the game was tied 7-7, but then Georgia Tech kind of pulled away, of course. Oklahoma defeated South Carolina 26-7. We also seen Indiana, number 3, defeat Michigan State. Of course, Michigan State still got to rebuild themselves back to getting rebuilt. And we keep seeing a lot of news circulating around by Penn State. You know, they got rid of their coach. It was one of the biggest buyouts ever. A lot of people have a lot of different speculations of who will be the next coach to take over. We've seen, I think earlier today, they talking about Coach Saban like that. Coach Saban potentially being a candidate. People keep circulating his name around, but I don't think he's coming back to coach. Especially with the NIL stuff and everything, how he left the coaching as well. I don't think he's coming back to coach, but it is something that's just a little interesting. You got the Memphis, of course. They playing right now. They're down by 7 and 2 minutes left, so I don't know. And then Texas Tech, they're down by a good margin to Arizona State. Arizona State is a team that does make a lot of plays like that. Last year, they beat the playoffs last year, right? I think that's what they had. That's the one that had Cam Scatterbo, right? Yeah, they're up by a good margin right now by 2 scores against Texas Tech. Texas Tech is ranked number 7 right now, and they're losing right now. 8 minutes left. You see some time left, but that's crazy. And right now you see Washington State is up to Virginia first quarter right now. Texas A&M is up 21-20 to Arkansas at halftime. So it's some games like that. So this season we've seen a lot of teams who may not be ranked, or a lot of unranked teams been defeating some top teams. And Vanderbilt, that's probably one of the most shocking ones this season for me like that, seeing those big time wins they had. They're ranked 17 right now. After that win, of course, against LSU, they're going to move up a little bit. If they can find a way to get in the college football playoffs like that, and put their schedule up actually. Put their schedule up to see the rest of their games. If they can find a way to get in there, that's one of the teams I feel like could definitely like be one of those upsetting teams that can definitely upset some top level guys. They play so feisty like that, and they find a way to get it done every time. I'm gonna pull their schedule up. Next they have, of course, they got Missouri next. So another rank. They got back-to-back ranked opponents. So they got Missouri, which is a winnable game, of course, as well. Like that, they got Missouri. Then they also got Texas. We know Texas have been getting manhandled like that. They won against Oklahoma, of course, the other week, of course, and they got played today as well. But Texas, that's definitely a winnable game. So you find a way to win against Missouri, you find a way to win against Texas, and then you have a Tennessee matchup as the last game, of course, as well. So Vanderbilt could see themselves get Auburn as well. You get some nice wins on the board, see yourself making it the college football playoffs as well. And I feel like they're a team that can definitely upset some people, of course. So yeah, this season's been very crazy, very hectic. I haven't been able to see everything like I wanted to see, of course. But today I was able to be home most of the day, but actually the whole day, and watch some of the college football games, and it's been very good. So that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. Let down below what you guys think about the Ole Miss and Georgia game. What you think about Vanderbilt as well, like that, how they're looking, of course, and any other team that you want to talk about as well. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel, which will probably be tomorrow, for some football, NFL football. So be on the lookout for that. Peace out.